Hi everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, and with me as always, especially for these DC reviews, is Connor.
Hey guys.
So, let's talk about DC's Legends of Tomorrow, which is a brand new show. We're talking about the first episode of Season 1. It's the pilot. Oh, actually, I should specify, it's Pilot Part 1. And to its credit, I never felt like this was part 1 of an episode.
Do you know what? Until you just said that, I had no idea.
Yeah, it actually feels like it's a standalone episode, so credit to them in that sense. But as always with our reviews, full spoilers for the episode and everything up until this point. That said, we will probably try and make an effort not to spoil Flash or Arrow. If it's not pertinent information, we'll try and avoid it, just in case, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's to do with a character that's in this show and it's their backstory, we may have to mention it, but otherwise we'll avoid it.
I feel like we'll have to mention the crossover.
Yeah, but that's because it's about Hawkgirl and Hawkman and their main characters and so on. But that other than that, spoiler free for those, but spoilers for Legends of Tomorrow. And I usually say everything up until this point, but it's the first episode, so that's irrelevant. So I want to start off by saying, last night we watched Arrow. We came on, we talked about Arrow, and I've been hating Arrow for a while. I think Arrow was pretty bad. I was in a really bad mood last night. Legends of Tomorrow was the cure for that bad mood. I really like this.
I think there were some problems, but mostly I think the problems were down to it being a pilot and the fact that it's exposition that, as we watch Flash and Arrow, already know. And it's aimed at the people who come fresh to the show.
Yeah, the first... Taking out the first couple of scenes that were setting up Rip Hunter, all the first scenes where he's recruiting everyone, or, well, I say recruiting, kidnapping everyone, a lot of the dialogue in those scenes, and then the scenes when they're sort of deciding if they're going to do it or not.
One in particular pissed me off.
A lot of that was very, in case you don't watch Flash or Arrow, we're going to make sure to mention our backstory, all the major beats of it anyway. But to be honest, like that happens so often. Even a show I love, Firefly, right? And this is a weird one to bring up, but there's a reason for this. Fox, in their infinite wisdom, didn't air the first episode first. So this wasn't the writer's fault. This wasn't Whedon and was it Greenwald they wrote the episode with? But no, I can't remember who the second writer was. That upsets me. I can't remember. But anyway, so they are told, okay, but your next episode is going to be actually the first episode that airs. So when you watch that episode with that in mind, you kind of notice there's some weird conversations that kind of recap some info. But it's just, it's a sort of it's a necessary evil with TV, especially when you have a spin-off.
None of it was particularly bad, apart from one which I really didn't enjoy at all, and I particularly hated. But
which one?
Laurel. Oh my god, her speech about you don't need the mask anymore. You're going to be in the light. It's like, oh my god, shut up.
Hell yeah. That didn't bother me too much, honestly.
It really bothered me.
The only part of that bothered me, honestly, was the fact that she has the outfit there.
Yeah, but why did she commission? She said she went to Cisco and made this outfit for her. Why wouldn't she make her a mask? Like, you want to fight in the light now? No. She's a vigilante. She needs a mask like the rest of you. What are you doing?
But that's probably fair. But to be honest, I didn't really care. The part that bothered me was that she had her outfit ready, not knowing that she was even coming back. Because the episode starts and she's off in some random country somewhere.
She's in Tibet.
She's in Tibet, and she's just away. And we get this scene with them training, which otherwise I thought was a fine scene. Actually, this is the weird thing. We always talk about it on when the crossovers happen. When they show something from Arrow's world, it's always better than it when it actually is an Arrow.
Yeah, it was just... Laurel still didn't feel right.
Well, Laurel's just awful, though, that's the thing. Luckily, she won't be here for the rest of this.
Thank God.
And she was only in, a scene, so, I mean, it's easy to forgive. But no, I really like this pilot, pretty much, because, it was full of energy. It was really nice, and it was almost too quick for the first 10 minutes because it was just speeding through the setup.
I'm so glad I knew what everything was already, because, man, if you were coming into this without watching Flash and Arrow, the amount of information you just had to ingest.
Yeah. I feel like that's the sort of thing, though, that when you watch a pilot that's an ensemble, you kind of feel that way anyway, and you just sort of get to know things as you're watching it.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, we have this really weird kind of thing where we know most of these characters from elsewhere already, so it's okay. I love the music. It's actually funny that Blake Neely does the music for all 3 shows.
He does the music for about half the shows on TV, I feel.
But with these 3, I feel like he actually has distinct sounds for all 3.
Yeah.
For the most part.
And there's certain themes that as soon as you play it, like a good one is the one they use for Captain Cold and Heatwave, like that the Rogues theme. As soon as that plays, and you know, because they use it in this, it's like, oh, that's from Flash. Like before you even see them on screen.
Yeah, but what I mean is even like the main theme of this and the main themes it uses is distinct from the main themes on Flash, which has got a lot more brass in it. This has a lot more sort of vocals and strings, and then Arrow's get more of a...
It's mostly staccato strings.
Yeah, it's more of a, we're trying to do the Dark Knight stuff kind of thing. But I like that. No, I really like the music. I liked, and this is going to sound like a really nerdy thing, and when I say nerdy, I don't mean nerdy in a comic book fan nerdy, I mean like a film school nerdy way. But I really like the look of this show. The colour palette and the way it's lit is different from the other 2 shows.
Do you know what? I want to point out the colour, especially when they went to 1975, and he goes, "Wow, 1975 is pretty colourful," and you can see they've changed the colour palette just to suit this time period.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they'll do
and
that
I thought,
for every time.
Yeah, I know, but I thought it was just really nice to notice that they've actually put in the effort to make them all look completely distinct to each other.
Honestly, the way it was lit felt a little bit more cinematic. It felt more like an event than I'm used to. Even Flash, which I like, I love Flash, but this felt even less of a TV show in terms of its lighting. So, no, I really appreciated that. It just had this really nice look to it right from the get-go. And the spaceship was cool.
Yeah.
I say spaceship, time travel ship, but it looks like a spaceship.
I don't know. It flies through the air as well. Kind of makes it a...
Not space, though. It flies through the sky.
Yeah.
It's a time
Who knows?
travel.
Maybe it can go in space. We just don't know.
I mean, it could do, but right now it's a time travel aircraft.
Yes.
So that was pretty cool. It was very Star Trek-y, actually, when he reveals it's been sitting there invisible the whole time. That was... If you've not seen old Star Trek stuff, like they do that in like the 4th movie, The Voyage Home, like because they're in present day 1980s and they're disguising the ship and it's like invisible and shit. That was very Star Trek. So that's pretty cool. It's been a while since I've had and I mentioned Firefly earlier, but it's been a while since I've had a show where it's an ensemble on a ship.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of happy to have that back, and I like how it's an eclectic mix of characters, and I'm actually surprised how well Cold and Heatwave fit into this.
Yeah, especially with Sarah.
Yeah, their chemistry was good.
Yeah.
And again, bringing back this idea that even things from Arrow are better in Flash and better now in this.
Absolutely.
Sarah, I never gave a shit about on Arrow.
Her in that bar with Cold and Heatwave.
Yeah,
fantastic.
When she's like talking to that big rough guy who's trying to like force her into the parking lot, and she's like, "Oh no, but your missus over there."
Yeah.
I fancy a bit of that.
Like, and then she says, "It's alright, I got this."
Like, holy shit, she actually has it's like almost like maybe the director, but also the writers have just got more of an idea in mind. Like they've got this ensemble, so they're actually building them a bit better. They all have their distinct strengths. Obviously, Victor Garber, Dr. Stein or whatever. He's like this, the scientist guy. We've got the young, the other half of Firestorm. His name I also can't remember, but he's like the younger, plays college football guy. We've got the Hawkman and Hawkgirl, who are relevant to the plot because of their past and because of their connection to Vandal Savage. And then we've got, the Atom, who's really fun and kind of Iron Man-like, but like they all have their different slots to fill.
Yeah.
And it feels like a nice eclectic mix. So I'm not even spoken about the plot itself yet, and we'll talk about that, but I'm really happy with how it feels and the energy that it has and the nice mix it is, and I'm actually kind of excited now for this 13-episode run. I'm
so glad that I can be excited for this now, because it was like the trailers made it look like this could be actually fun, but then there's always part of me that going, hang on, this is from the guys from Arrow still.
yeah, this could be Arrow, and it kind of just, it's like Flash was a lot more fun for a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons why Flash is so much fun is because it embraces the superpowers and science fictiony, and then this is fucking time travel.
Yeah,
It's like- it's
this is just a sci-fi time travel romp. That's
yeah, this is way into the deep end of that. Obviously, Arthur Duval is the newcomer as Rip Hunter.
I love him. He's fantastic.
He's pretty good. There's a couple of moments where I don't think he's hamming it up. I think the script's hamming it up.
Yeah.
And he sort of just handles it the best he can. But he's pretty good. I mean, I like him on Doctor Who. I liked him in Broadchurch.
Yeah.
He's a good actor. So that's pretty cool. That's nice. I like the nice touch that his computer's also called Gideon, which is a really nice sort of connection to Flash, a nice world connection
Yeah.
beyond the characters, and so that's pretty cool. I like that he basically works for the organisation from Time Cop, if you've ever seen that. It's a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie about cops who travel through time to stop other criminals who have travelled through time to try and make easy money and stuff like that. Just his organisation reminded me of that, except they're a lot more, mysterious and stand in the dark.
See, they kind of reminded me of this is Doctor Who, the Time Lord Council on Gallifrey, who are a lot like that. Like, they have all this kind of mysterious power, and they kind of decide what they want to do and change what they want, and they're in charge, basically.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty gushingly positive because honestly, I just had nothing but fun with this. Really, I was such a good mood through all of it, and I kind of realised about 5 minutes in, I was like, okay, I'm getting the vibes I'm getting from this, and as soon as they got to the ship, I was like, okay, I think I'm into this properly. But
I think Stein felt a bit weird compared to his past appearances on Flash, like him drugging the other guy. That was a bit
that was
strange.
Do you know it was? But I don't know. It was kind of weird because it didn't. It felt all out of character that he did that, but at the same time, it kind of got resolved, and
yeah,
he was
it
cool
was
with
just
it.
that bothered me while I was watching it. It felt off.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be an issue really
No,
going
I
forward.
hope not.
But let's talk about the actual plot. So obviously Vandal Savage, who was very weak when he showed up on Flash and Arrow, I thought. Just the actor, just the way they presented him. I don't necessarily think this has done anything to make me think differently about himself, but the scene at the start of him actually killing the mother and then the son did at least show how evil he is.
Yeah, and actually having him achieved his world domination kind of presents him as an actual threat this time, rather than just a guy who's been around for a long time hunting two people.
Honestly, I almost think they did more damage than good by having him appear on Flash and Arrow first.
Oh, they definitely did.
I do think that. Interestingly, we mentioned things looking better on, when they're not on Arrow. This is weird, but if you go back to the crossover episode, the Arrow half specifically, we complained how shitty the flashbacks to ancient Egypt were. And literally all this did, when it showed you a couple of quick glimpses of it, is they added this really sort of heavy grain filter. But it instantly made it look better. Partly because it was really quickly edited. It wasn't like full scenes with them talking, right? So that took the goofiness out of it a little bit. Add the grain filter, makes it a bit more obscured. It's not, you can see that it's a really clean set, which is really what bothered me.
I guarantee the reason they edited it down to no dialogue is because they didn't want to have to reshoot it with them not speaking English. Because when they were in Tibet, near the start with Sarah, it was distinctly subtitled.
Yeah, that's true. So right away, that's a bonus point in my book.
Yeah, because we made a point of that when we reviewed that episode. So,
and honestly, you could have not shown any of this in Arrow and just shown the quick glimpses in this, and it'd have been fine. It'd have been enough.
yeah.
And it would have been better for it because we wouldn't have had it sullied by all the goofiness aspect of the full thing. So that's good. That's great. So they're travelling through time and space looking for, Vandal Savage. There's a lot of plot holes inherent to that because you're thinking, then why did they have to keep moving through time? Why not just find them in one time? But whatever, I don't care. It's a time travel story. We're just going to have to let the science of it be wishy-washy. But I'm going to tell you something that I did really like. Right. Ever since this got announced, right, and ever since they announced the lineup, right, and it's particularly since we got the first trailer and we actually heard the bit of speech where Rip Hunter says, "In the future, you're not only heroes, you're all legends," right? And I thought, okay, these are all C-list characters though. I'm not sure, like, they're selling them up a bit heavy here for this, right? So I actually love the twist in this, that it's a flat out lie, and he picked them because they're a bunch of nobodies that no one's going to give a shit about.
I clocked that a bit earlier on when Ray mentioned how when he died, for all intents and purposes, that the world didn't notice. He had no impact. And that was when I sort of clocked what... Because having seen the trailer, I realised that was where it was going to go.
Yeah. And do you know what I liked about... The couple of things I like about it is, one, it just aligns with what I think of these characters as being C-list characters. Two, that's a good thing because that's just how you elevate characters like this. You put them in a team together and make them more than what they are.
Yeah.
This could elevate some of these characters to being proper B-listers, or even maybe not A-listers. You kind of need a movie to do that, honestly, or a big show that's dedicated to them, like the Flash. Like Flash has probably went from a B to an A through his show.
I would say Green Arrow has as well.
To the general public, you know,
Yeah.
like not to us specifically, but to the general public and the perception of that character in the mainstream audience. And this could elevate these guys, and that's cool. But the thing that I really like about it, more than any of that, it makes them the underdogs. It makes them the outcasts, the people who no one expect to succeed, fighting to prove themselves, and that gives them a fucking arc as a team.
Yeah, and again, things that are better on this than Arrow. It's Sarah that comes out with the speech about, nah, let's just do this and prove it, because she's the one who realizes that it's not set in stone because they're trying to change the future anyway.
And also, I don't know, from what I remember, seeing Arrow when they brought her back to life, and then they had to bring in Constantine to, cure her madness.
Give her a soul back.
Give her her soul back, essentially, yeah. Was she not still meant to have the thing Thea has, where she has this bloodlust?
I'm not sure.
Because I think she did. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. If she does, it's not mentioned here, and I'm more than happy for them to just ignore it.
Yeah, me too.
Because
let's just pretend that she fixed it herself when she was off in Tibet doing what she does.
I don't need to see more scenes like the ones like it feels like not the last couple of weeks because she's been cured kinda ever since Damien Dark did the thing, but every second week Thea with the going too far, and you're like, why are you still bringing her out on missions?
And I want to point out with Laurel, not Laurel, Sarah at least, she's always been a bit on the aggressive side. From what we've seen her, because she was the assassin, and so her being angry and aggressive and going maybe too far for some of the others feels more in line with like Cold and Heatwave than it does with some of the heroes.
Also, I never really liked Heatwave and Flash. Like, he was fine, but I never really liked him. He was just kind of like the bumbling guy, and in this he actually made me laugh a few times.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they're actually building him up a little bit more. I like when they're all like saying why they're going to do this. I need to prove myself, I need to do this, and it cuts to them and he's just like, I like killing people. Like, that's pretty funny.
It is. I liked when Stein was like, do you want to just get him for me? Point to the guy in the car.
Yeah, and he's like, ugh. He just like grunts and he's like, yeah, alright. So that's cool. By the way, did they always... They've made Captain Cold's hair, they've sort of frosted it a bit, so it's got like a sort of white blue sheen to it.
Yeah.
Did they always do that on Flash, or am I just noticing this?
I can't say I've never noticed it, but maybe they had did it before and we just haven't noticed until now.
Yeah. I mean, I think the plot for this episode was obviously pretty basic, because most of it was spent setting it up and getting them together and having them decide what they're doing. And also, I thought it was fun when, like, Half a Fire. I need to remember the two characters' names, Stein, and I can't remember the
Jefferson.
The new kid, because the new kid has only been in one episode of Flash. Like, he was literally introduced, just before Christmas. So I don't know his name yet, but he when he was like arguing with the computer, he's like, do this, and he's like, I've been ordered not to follow your instructions. It's like, you're a computer, you have to do what I say. That was fun stuff.
I also liked how they established there's consequences to the time travel with the and they can't change everything, and it's going to be hard for them to change things because
Yes.
obviously they went back to her son from the past life.
Yeah, the past life, yeah. Because
But
they had a kid when they're during World War One or something around
yeah,
that time.
yeah. But knowing that he was going to die within 24 hours, they try to save him by taking him away, and that's what inevitably gets him killed. Is in the end.
Yeah, it's a classic time travel sort of.
Yeah.
You can't change things like this. That it's going to course correct and just do it another
But
way.
it makes me wonder for the show as a whole, like, is their mission just completely
That's
doomed to
true.
fail?
Maybe this is the point. They're trying to prove that they can change it. This is like they have to because things are too bad.
Yeah, like if they fail like quite a lot of times until they eventually.
They figure out the loophole. There'll be a
Yeah,
loophole.
maybe that's why they have to keep going back to Vandal in different times rather than just find him in one and stop him. Because every time they try, it just kind of fixes itself essentially.
Well, I think the difference is they said that if it's one of the Hawks that kill him, then it breaks
It's for good.
yeah, it breaks the curse or whatever it is, whatever you call it. Yeah, so maybe that's the thing. Like, yeah, it'll always correct, but if the Hawks kill him, because technically he should be dead already. There's magic involved in why he's still alive.
Yeah.
So because of that, it's okay to change that. Maybe that's just I'm trying. That's kind of the Buffy logic. That was always the logic in Buffy when it came to bringing someone back from the dead. And no spoilers, I won't mention names or anything like that. But if they died from magical means, they could come back. But if they died from like an illness or a gunshot or something that was real in real life, they couldn't come back. That was the rule. But so yeah, maybe they'll have something like that. So yeah, that was all good stuff. I thought the bounty hunter did look up was cool, simple, but it was cool. It was a cool little one.
Let's face it, they said it. He was Boba Fett.
So
He
it's
was
funny.
there. He looks cool. He has no lines barely, and then he just.
It's funny actually because it's funny that Captain Cold cracked that joke because when he first showed up, I sort of went, "Oh, this is like a cooler Boba Fett."
I thought it was really weird when the first guys were like, "Oh, look at the Darth Vader over here." I was like, "I think you mean Boba Fett." And then
He's kind of a mix because he's got the black mask.
he's
and
got
all
the
that.
black, but like he is Boba Fett as a character.
Yeah.
He's got barely any lines. He's just literally a bounty hunter, and he's got a cool costume. That's it.
Yeah, but if you're a character in the show, you don't necessarily know all of those parts. You just see them.
True, but then it still gets referenced later on as Boba Fett. So
Yeah, someone else does.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But you're being such a Star Wars nerd right now, you're complaining that someone referenced them as something other than what you think it should be referenced as.
Yeah,
Stop
yeah.
it. Stop it. Go away. Anyway, good stuff. And just to go back to the twist about Rip Hunter having lied to them, I like the idea that he stole the ship and he's doing this against orders. Like they've ordered him not to, and he's kind of an outlaw. Because again, it makes him kind of the underdog, and it makes them all a bunch of like kind of outcasts and C-listers and like. So it's set up a show that I think I'm going to enjoy. I mean, it could tank hard next week. I don't know, but
I feel like it shouldn't do. If it just stays being fun.
yeah, because I don't think it did anything wildly intelligent or amazing this week. It was a solid fun time. It was well shot. It did not look cheap for a TV show. The effects looked pretty good. Ship flying around was
I imagine that's why it's the reduced amount of episodes.
yeah, probably. Also doing all the period pieces like each week aren't cheap.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's already proven to be more sort of like fun and vivid with it than Agent Carter. Although, admittedly, part of that's inherent to the fact that you have characters from the present and the past, like commenting on the past. So I'll acknowledge that. That's a fair point to make if you're going to argue against me with what I just said with that. That's fair. But no, Legends of Tomorrow, pretty good. I'm actually excited about this. This actually, honestly, this makes it even harder to put myself through Arrow next week because I like Flash.
Remind me.
I like Legends of Tomorrow. Not quite the same thing because it's not CW, but it's one of the producers. So Supergirl, I like. I enjoy all those. They're all fun to varying degrees.
Do you know what'll keep me going on Arrow? The fact that it's in the middle. If Arrow was like last or first, it'd be easier to stop. But the fact that I know I've got something good either side of it helps.
Yeah, but can't look at it this way. We could just take Wednesday nights off.
Yeah, I'd still have to watch it myself anyway. But we could take it. We could take it off from this.
Not that we've made the decisions yet. We'll have a review of Arrow next week. Besides, where else am I going to get called really harsh words on YouTube? I mean, really,
Best comment we've ever got.
it kind of is. But it's the best compliment I've ever got. Alright, so yeah, that's Legends of Tomorrow. Of course, on YouTube, let us know below in the comments what you thought of it. I'm curious, especially if you're a DC fan, let us know. If you're not a DC fan, and by that I mean you've never read comics or anything like that, you're just watching the CW shows.
Also, I really want to know your opinion if you don't watch Flash and Arrow, and this is your first one of these DC shows.
Yeah, if you don't watch any of it, and this is literally the first thing you've watched, then yeah, let us know. But yeah, no, I'm curious. I'm curious from all viewpoints what people think of this. I thought it was fun. As a science fiction fan, more so than a comic book fan. Like, all the comic connections are cool, but mainly as a science fiction fan, this was fun. So, yeah. See you next week, guys.